Language Notes. Topic 5. Meals and Meal Times. Part 2.
Let's talk about a meal that's very common and very popular on the weekend, especially on Sunday. Brunch. Brunch, as you can see, is a combination of breakfast and lunch. A brunch is a late morning meal, maybe around 11 o'clock, perhaps even 12. It's a meal that has both breakfast foods and lunch foods. Let's also talk about snacks. Snacks are the little foods that you eat between meals. At schools, at daycare centers, there are snack times. A morning snack time might be around 10 or 10:30 a.m. After school, children come home and they also have a snack, an afternoon snack. I already talked about a potluck dinner and I described what a buffet is. Let me also mention some other meals that you might be invited to. In warmer weather, you might be invited to have a picnic. That's a meal eaten outside at a picnic table or perhaps on a blanket placed on the ground. People pack their picnic basket, they pack foods or perhaps buy foods, and they carry it to a picnic area and they share their meal outdoors.
At a barbecue or cookout, people also eat outdoors. The difference is they first cook outdoors. They usually grill some kind of meat. Barbecue is sometimes written as BBQ. Barbecues, cookouts, picnics, those are all informal events. In contrast, a banquet is a large formal gathering. Special foods are prepared. Often after that formal meal, an award of some kind is given to one person or perhaps to a number of people. So a banquet is held on a very special occasion.
Before I end, let me talk very briefly about etiquette. Etiquette refers to rules for behavior, how someone should behave in a certain social situation. We can talk about table etiquette, rules for behavior at the dinner table. These are the kinds of rules that parents try to teach their children. For example, I teach my children that the napkin is unfolded and is placed on their lap.
Table etiquette is commonly referred to as table manners. Now for some these rules are important, for others they're not so important. But most parents in the U.S. make some kind of effort to teach their kids these rules. Here's what you might hear them say. Place your napkin on your lap. We also say, no elbows on the table. Don't talk with your mouth full. Wait until everyone has been served before eating. If you're serving yourself, use the serving spoons or forks to place food on your dish. Then, of course, you use your own utensils to eat the food from your dish. If you're a guest, thank your host or hostess and pay them a compliment. But for young children, parents usually say, don't forget to say thank you. Let me share one more note about etiquette.
Some families choose to say grace. Grace is a prayer said before meals. Not every family or every person has this practice. If you're invited to dinner and the family says grace, The polite thing to do is simply just remain quiet, allow them to finish their grace, and then start eating the meal together.
If you sit down to an American table, you might get confused by all the different utensils. Just remember the general rule: work from the outside in. For example, we'd use a salad fork before a dinner fork. This picture shows a rather formal place setting. I've asked my children to help me. They're going to set the table for an everyday dinner.
Do you know how to set the table?
Yes.
Would you show me?
Yes. So this is the placemat, and first we put the plate in the center. Then we have a napkin and we put it on the left. Okay. Then we have a fork which we put on the napkin.
Okay.
Then we have a knife on the right facing inward. And then we have a spoon where we put next to the knife.
And what if there's a beverage?
And if there's a beverage, you have a glass and you put it in front of the knife.
Good job, guys.
I'm sure you all know the word spoon, but perhaps you don't know the specific names of different kinds of spoons. For example, soup spoon, teaspoon, tablespoon. Likewise, there's a difference between a dinner knife and a butter knife.
That's all for this lesson about meals and meal times. Thank you for watching. Happy studies!
Please visit my website today at www.englishwithjennifer.com. You'll find study tips, interactive exercises, vocabulary videos, and more.